Alright, hello everybody, welcome back to MTG Bulk Mythic, the YouTube channel. Today we're going to start opening this Zendikar Rising set booster box. I'm going to make this a 3-video series, so we'll open 8 packs per video. So just stay tuned for those as they come out. And also stay tuned for some more awesome giveaways coming out in those future videos as well. Lots of good things going on. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and crack this thing open. Alright, so this is the set booster box, the variant, non-draftable variant. Kind of the in-between between the regular draft booster box and the collector booster box. So this is for those pack crackers out there. Well, that's what we're going to do. Get that off of there. Go ahead and break this open. And of course, we have the box topper. We'll set that to the side. We'll do that one in the last video. We got our first 8 packs right here. Or is it? Looks like 10. So that's a 30 pack? I don't know. They keep changing the packs that they put in the boxes, so I've been paying attention. We'll set these 2 stacks off to the side for future videos. Hopefully this isn't shaking the table too much. Get that out of the way. Alright, so first things first, how many is it in a third of the box? So that's 5, 10, so it's 10 packs. It'll be 10 packs per video. And let's go ahead and get cracking. It's like my first video, talked about how they have these set boosters have a little bit different of a layout. So here's our token on the back side, here's our art card. We'll go ahead and set that there, our basic land, and then our little commons and uncommons section. Nothing really of note there. Again, the little double-sided cards. These are going to continue to be a thing for the next coming sets. And our first rare here, Inscription of Insight, with a Strength of Solidarity foil, and then the Angel Warrior token. Next one here, make sure I keep them in front of the counter. Art card, basic land. Also we have here a whole lot. There's our double-sided card. And we got one rare here, Soul Shatter. Each opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker with the highest converted mana cost among creatures and planeswalkers they control. Sounds like an excellent multiplayer game. A turn Timber Symbiosis, so it's got the what people are starting to call the bolt lands on the back. So shock lands were enters the battlefield tapped unless you pay 2 life. These are in the battlefield tapped in case you pay 3 life. And this one has a another spell on the front side there, and then Skyclave Apparition. Now foil Treasure Blade, Illusion token. So that's actually the second Turn Timber Symbiosis I've opened. I'm not too sure yet how good those cards are going to be. Right now it seems like everybody's really concentrating on the pathways so that they have the 2 different colors of mana. But I have a feeling that we will be seeing more of those, maybe even in some of the non-rotating formats. So first, our rare in this pack here, Skyclave Shade. I don't know about you, but that kind of reminds me of some of the Eldrazi happenings that were plaguing Zendikar recently. And then Expedition Diviner. And then here's our first list card, Promise of Power. So again, the list is just what it says. It's just a list of cards that Wizards have come up with from throughout Magic's history that they've decided to reprint. They're supposed to be iconic cards or cards that were highly recognizable. some people are more excited about them than others, I guess. So they can be really high value, they can be a strict dud in a lot of cases. So speaking of pathways, our rare in this pack is the Bright Climb pathway. So it's a black land on the back side, white land on the front. Enters battlefield untapped, allows you to choose between different colors. And our foil here is a rare, Rolling Vortex. Enchantment for 1 and a red. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, Rolling Vortex deals 1 damage to them, so that includes you, it's symmetrical there. And then whenever a player casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast that spell, Rolling Vortex deals 5 damage to that player. And then you can pay a red, and your opponents cannot gain life for a turn. So that probably be pretty good against some of the graveyard decks that cheat things into play, things of that nature. I don't know how much utility it's going to have in a more broad spectrum format. So what else do we have here? Working our way through. This Merfolk Windrobber is one of the staples in the black-blue rogue decks that's floating around. And then we have Magmatic Channeler. 1 and a red, creature, human wizard. It's a 1/3, and as long as there are 4 more instant or sorcery cards in your graveyard, it gets +3/+1. So it turns into a 4/4 if you've had at least 4 or more instants or sorcery cards go into your graveyard. And you can tap to discard a card and then exile the top 2 cards of your library. Choose one of them that you can cast this turn. So you also has a discard ability there to help feed those cards into your graveyard if you don't have a reason to cast them. And then Marauding Blight Priest. And then this is the first time I've seen, I've opened one of these, but I've seen a few of them. So they're little mini games, just more ways to enjoy Magic cards, I guess. It takes 2 players, 2 packs, and 10 minutes to play this one. I was actually going to look into getting my hands on as many of these as I could, just to kind of see which ones of these mini games are any fun to play. So look forward to trying out some of those, and I'll let you guys know if I enjoyed any of them. So moving on, Zulport Duelist, another one of the blue-black rogue cards. And then our rare here, Valakut Exploration, another red enchantment. It is 2 and a red with landfall. Whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card for as long as it remains exiled. That's good. Instead of until you exile the next one, like Furious Rise was. At the beginning of your end step, if there are cards exiled with it, then put them into the owner's graveyard. Okay, so they don't exist there for long, and then it deals that much damage to each opponent. So very interesting. And then a McKindy Ox foil showcase frame, pretty neat there, and a cat token. Alright, a little more than half. We got 4 packs left. Let's see what else we can pull out of here. So it looks like we're getting another set card out of this pack, because I did not see a token there. Try not to be in too much of a hurry to get there. See what else we got going on. And here's Ashaya Soul the Wild Mythic. So it's a 5 mana, so 3 and 2 green for an elemental legendary creature. Its power and toughness are equal to the number of lands you control, and the non-token creatures you control are forest lands in addition to their other types. So not only do you have the lands, your natural lands that you've put into play, but all of your non-token creatures become forest lands and also add to their power and toughness there. And Luminarchus Aspirant, 1 and a white for a human cleric. It's a 1/1. And being in combat, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. So that'd be pretty interesting in a mono white weenies deck, probably, to keep pumping up those creatures, try to keep up with the board state of your opponent. Scorch Rider, and then here's our set card, Beseech the Queen. Sorcery for either 3 black or 6 colorless or any combination. So with these mana symbols, you can either pay a black or 2 colorless for each one of those. And then you search your library for a card with converted mana cost less than or equal to the number of lands you control. Reveal it, put it in your hand, and shuffle your library. So pretty interesting tutor there. Could be 3 mana, 6 mana, anything in between. And what you're searching for scales with the game based on how many lands you've played. And this time we have a foil island. Another Skyclave apparition. And then Durana, the last Blood Chief. Very, very good looking card here for Commander. I've seen some gameplay videos where she has done a lot of work being able to return creatures to play. And a foil Skyclave pickaxe showcase. So I'm actually pleasantly surprised I haven't seen any ad cards that were ads on both sides. They've actually been tokens. I mean, I know it's just kind of a throw in there, but it's nice that Wizards has come along to making those. It wasn't a thing that they did at first. Here's another Mythic double-sided modal card. This one is the white one, Amaria's Call. It's 4 generic mana and 3 white to create 2 4/4 White Angel warrior creature tokens with flying, and then non-angels you control gain indestructible until your next turn. So it's a lot of mana, but you get it's 7 mana for 8 power on 2 creatures, and then indestructible for the rest of your creatures. And on the back side is that bolt land in white. And then a foil Tazine Raptor. The Jace copy, because Jace copies himself and you cast him if he's been kicked. Haven't seen a lot of impact yet by that new Jace. However, excited to see if anybody figures out where he goes. Obviously, the normal cycle of a format is aggro comes out right out the gate, and then eventually the control players start to figure out what pieces of control they need. And then they start gaining a little bit of advantage later in the season until the next set comes out. So we'll see how that goes until we start seeing Jaces. In this case, we have the Branch Loft pathway. On the opposite side is the Boulder Loft pathway. So the green-white pathway there, and a foil rare Nighthawk Scavenger. And then, of course, I kind of spoiled the set card here, Omnath, Locus of Rage. So this is the second iteration of Omnath in Battle for Zendikar. And then we had the third version in whatever the last set was. I want to say that Zendikar that included the blue for the Elementals deck, and now we have the fourth iteration of Omnath, which is all color but black in this set here, now that we've gone back to Zendikar once again. So very interesting. That's the one that looks like it might actually be getting banned. There's some rumors of a surprise emergency banning coming up here very soon. I don't know if I'll get this video out before that's announced, if it's announced, but apparently banning Uro was not enough to slow down those Omnath decks. So this is the first third of the box. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next third.